Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is suddenly very concerned about the safety of members of Congress. Ah, that's interesting. In fact, she just recently made a very serious report to the Capitol Police, asking them to investigate a potential threat of violence against a certain member of Congress. So now, who is this member of Congress? What are these threats? Again, we should take these very seriously, right? Well, who is the member of Congress? What? Herself. Oh. Great. So now, what's the threat then? Well, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody as high profile as Marjorie Taylor Greene getting some threats. I mean, again, politicians get threats all the time. News media folks get threats all the time. Okay, so now let's go to that. Now, I can't show you this because, not because it's so horrible or so awful. No, it's because it's copyrighted. It's Jimmy Kimmel. So now, this is a joke from comedian Jimmy Kimmel. In fact, on his show Wednesday night, Kimmel said this in response to Greene, basically calling Romney, Collins, and Murkowski pro-pedophile for voting in favor of Ketanji Brown Jackson, who now is a Supreme Court justice, the newest Supreme Court justice, and the first African-American woman to ever serve on the Supreme Court. So definitely a watershed moment, a very, very important moment in American history. And of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, no, we're going to pedo jacket all of them. Everyone, even members of my own party. So now, Jimmy Kimmel on his show, when he read that that tweet, he basically remarked, quote, "Wow, where's Will Smith when you really need him?" Now that's a reference to the infamous Oscar slap, to which of course no one was seriously injured for one, and nobody died. Now, you could get into the argument whether or not the slap was warranted and that whatever. I'm not getting into that argument. But okay, is that a threat on somebody's life? Is that a threat against Marjorie Taylor Greene? Oh, by the way, here's what he said afterwards. Well, besides that being disgusting, this woman is good pals with Matt Gaetz, who is currently under investigation for trafficking minors for sex. It's scum and scummer. Now, Greene took the clip, and here's what she tweeted. At ABC, this threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police. And they're going to do what? Would you want them to go arrest Jimmy Kimmel? I'm sorry, like, first of all, where's the direct threat from Kimmel? Again, context matters here, right? I have seen what threats look like. I know what they sound like. What Jimmy Kimmel said was a joke, and jokes are protected speech, okay? Now, right-wingers, for example, on their respective programs, which are not comedy programs, they're opinion programs, they have said far worse than Jimmy Kimmel. You've had people make far worse jokes than Jimmy Kimmel. And in a lot of these cases, that is also considered protected speech. Nobody in their right mind considers what Jimmy Kimmel said to be a credible threat against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Apparently, though, as we all know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, not in her right mind. She's never been in her right mind. And now she appears to be in favor of cancel culture. What happened, Marjorie? I thought you were pro-free speech. I mean, come on. Look, by the way, right-wingers, culture warriors, free speech people, are you going to come out and defend Kimmel's right to free speech as a comedian? I mean, y'all defended Dave Chappelle when he made horribly transphobic comments. Are you going to stand up for Jimmy Kimmel? Are you going to stand up for Jimmy Kimmel like you stood up for Joe Rogan for spreading disinformation about COVID-19? Are you going to do that? Where are you guys? Are you going to defend the First Amendment? Dave Rubin, Glenn Greenwald, where are you guys? Where are you? Where are you? Well, I know. Dave Rubin already shut down because his brain took in too many high-level ideas. It's got to go in recovery mode. No. Look, again, the irony, right? So look, she's very concerned, apparently very concerned about a joke that she wanted to, report to the Capitol Police. However, when there was actual violence at the Capitol, aimed, by the way, at politicians, Democratic politicians, and of course Mike Pence, coming from Trump supporters, well, she didn't mind any of that. No. She didn't care about that. In fact, she consistently downplayed the violence at the Capitol, voted against awarding congressional medals to Capitol police officers that were injured in the Trump insurrection, and did not have nice things to say about the Capitol Police. In fact, she consistently went after the Capitol Police. You all remember this.
Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police.
So, I mean, hey, look. And now she wants the Capitol Police to devote their resources to investigate a comedian for making a joke. You're kidding, right? Get out of here. And by the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene is not one to speak. Again, I've shown you the video of her stalking AOC's office, doing creepy things, stalking and chasing after a shooting victim, David Hogg. She, did a mock-up pic of her holding a machine gun near lawmakers' heads. She liked a Facebook post about executing Democrats. And by the way, that's not to say the other insane things that she has done and said. Remember the video where she blew up, what was it, like a Prius with the word socialism painted on it? No, she's insane. She had, and this was, by the way, a gun giveaway. Now, all of that, of course, is protected speech. And so what are you going to do, right? It's all protected speech. So why not have Kimmel be able to do his protected speech? And then, of course, she also goes into pedo jacketing everybody. Again, what she was doing to Romney, Murkowski, and Collins, and Ketanji Brown Jackson as well. And so what they're doing, of course, is literally calling people the worst kind of person imaginable, a child predator. Now, that is dangerous. That is actual danger, right? Because guess what? Who here wouldn't do violence in order to protect children? I think there's a lot of people that would. And so, and the problem comes around when you falsely, or people falsely allege that people who are not predators are actually predators. And so when you do that to people, you put them in danger, right? Again, the greatest example of this is the pizza shop, where a man with a gun came in. I believe he took a couple of shots at people, demanding to free the alleged children that were in the basement. Except there were no children and there was no basement. People could have died from these idiots. That's the danger here. Now they're going after Disney. I mean, they are basically straight up alleging that anyone who is against Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, for example, is a groomer and a pedophile. Again, that's super dangerous because there's no evidence of any of those things. And so as a result, again, knowing how this is America, knowing how you have at least a third of the country that's certifiably insane and propagandized, brainwashed to believe in these things, to think that people working at Disney are all groomers. And again, you have guns everywhere. We're a country that's awash in guns. I would not be surprised if Disney becomes a target in the next mass shooting. Because again, we have a mass shooting basically every Tuesday in this country. And so this rhetoric coming from the right, it's very, very dangerous. And I'm afraid that something like that is inevitable. Hey, you know what? Instead of wasting the police and the authorities' time investigating comedians, perhaps the authorities need to look into right-wing domestic terrorists. You know, where the actual credible threats are. But no. Members of Congress on the right wing would apparently rather they harass late night comedians who are basically doing nothing but having a little bit of fun calling out your disgusting lying asses.